Hi, Art Seekers. We're here with IMHUGE. I'm a huge fan of yours and super excited to learn more about your work.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So how did you get involved in street art in the first place?
I would probably answer that question from birth. I've been an artistic from birth. I used to, starting from crayons when I was 2 years old, watercolors, clay, Legos had a big influence on me. But then I took it seriously and understood that it could be a career, kind of. So I wanted to be an architect originally. So I knew I was, I knew I was artistically inclined, but not academically inclined. So that was too much work for me. So I decided to slide laterally to graphic design and visual communications, which really opened up multiple mediums and multiple platforms for me. After school, I went for a junior art director in New York. Guy shredded my portfolio, and I ended up staying in New York, not as a junior art director, but I got into the nightlife scene and worked for a restaurateur out there. But the introduction to the elements of street installation, street decor, throw-ups, tags was impressionable, to say the least. It's pivoted my life. You know, when you think that art is in a narrow way, you look at the expansion of how many different means in a public space that you can offer art to the public. Yeah.
And did you actually put stuff up when you were in New York?
I was back then what I would call mopping. I was tagging little tags, and it got me from A to B to where I am today. So yeah, it was a great kind of like education of the street, so to speak.
And then how did you come up with using this iconography of mini-me in your practice?
Well, that's funny. I get asked that all the time, and it's not an obsession with Vern, which Vern is a fan, but it actually is just the irony of fame and like the journey of the hustle, and trying to do something bigger than yourself. So there's many metaphoric undertones. But it's funny when people ask me, it's just like, are you the number one fan, or are you the fan of the, I am a fan.
What does Austin Powers mean to you?
No, I love the movie, and I have attachments to the movie, but personally, it's just the journey of the hustle, striving to do something bigger than yourself, and it's amazing what the human spirit can do. The original minis, it was actually pre-Oscar, it was just Vern as a symbol, were about 12 inches tall. So they're like, basically the equivalent of today's sticker. There's guys that use stickers for that. So people on the street were calling me Mini Wheat, which I thought was kind of funny. And then the evolution grew of Vern, and we threw the Oscar onto him, and we were like, man, this is so small. So I started making them. We did some research, and Vern is actually 2 feet 8 inches. So I started making my minis 2 feet.
Oh, they're to scale?
They were making their actual size.
Oh, that's awesome.
And no disrespect to his condition, but that wasn't big enough. So the irony of like going 7 feet, or there's a new one that's coming out that's going to be 12 feet. It is the irony is pretty thick, so it's good.
And it's so playful, which I think really taps into the participatory nature of street art and how people probably do crazy and really fun personal Instagram posts with your work, and your work lives on and is organic through other people's interpretations.
Yeah, I totally feel that. It's just such a strange concept. Like, you make something in your head, you can have multi-mediums between photographic and paint and wheat paste and all these, and you come up with a final product, you put it in the street, and then it's on someone else's feed, and like it's some people take my stuff down and some people buy stuff. It's really an interesting way to kind of navigate your way into providing a life for yourself, and it's fun. I love the path. The discovery of it is phenomenal. Like, I have an open canvas to any type of elements, and like I can attack contemporary issues with pop culture, and just like I said, the effect that genre has had on me with some of the greats, it's great. Especially when some great artists, like I had engagement with Ron English, and it's pretty amazing what digital tools give you access to nowadays.
You also do a lot of iconographies with fists.
Yes.
Right, which I think is really interesting because the fist has this art historical tradition as being this symbol of political activism, but yours feels more like a video game fist, or it's more about pop culture, and I'm wondering what the fist means to you.
The fist is actually an homage to a cartoonist, an illustrator for the original Popeyes. So it's kind of like a symbol of victory, or just like winning, if you want to throw some more contemporary terms in there. There's some morphing going on with that piece right now, so I have some other installations in mind.
Well, I love the winter. I think it's so fun.
Yeah.
And it feels almost like a fist bump with the street, with the artist, whoever it is.
I've heard a lot of different definitions, and most people are right on. I mean, it really is art in the eye of the beholder. Whatever it resonates and whatever it feels for you is pretty much accurately to what I was trying to do. Street art is so incredible. So you do a piece or a canvas or something, and then if you're not comfortable with the medium or the application of that, it's not for you. I mean, I think that being on the street is actually the opposite for me. I love it. You know, I don't even have to. I could be spotting other people. I can just be in it. There's something gritty, and you feel like you're in tune with the original culture. As an artist, you look at the streets as a canvas. So even the simplest, trip to the grocery store or just crossing the crosswalk, you see little pockets, where you can throw a slap up or a little piece that you might find interesting. When I paint a canvas or a commission, I don't have to think about any of those things. It's just a world of freedom. In the streets, you're on the clock. You're wondering about what textural the walls are. It's going to adhere if you're doing a wheat paste. Am I going to break this down to 4 stencils? So all that path gets you to one moment as an artist, and I think it's all about the evolution. And I always talk about discovery and exploration in those themes and those mediums.